Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Lorcana video. It's been a hot second, hope I didn't keep anyone waiting too long, but I was out touching grass on vacation, so I hope you'll forgive me for the lateness of this video. But anyway, today I have for you part 2 of the Lorcana Booster Draft Tournament held at Sully's Abode on August 19th. We will be taking a look at round 1 of the tournament. It was a best of 3, so the first to take 2 victories takes the round. If you missed part 1, which was the actual drafting phase of the event, I have it linked below as well as somewhere on the screen right now. You can also just check out the final deck list right here, as well as some stats. With that all being said, enjoy the rest of the video.
Battle has begun! Fight!
So we start off the round by rolling for turn with my opponent's very pretty Mickey themed dice. I win the high roll and get to go first. Here's me dealing out my starting hand with my very pretty Disney Sorcerer's Alliance sleeves. I know you guys got a kick out of them. I got so many questions on the last video asking what they were. Enjoy getting a look at my hand as I forget to show you ever again for the rest of the night. Honestly, things were a little frantic this round. We were running kind of late and had to rush a bit. And we were also kind of cramped at the table, so I didn't get the chance to set up the camera at an optimal spot. I apologize in advance for the war zone my side will end up looking like as I struggle to keep things in frame. Luckily my opponents were nice enough to let me get away with it. But yeah, I do a bit of a better job in future rounds, so that's something to look forward to at least. Anyway, enough of the excuses, let's get back to the game. For my first turn, I play Captain Hook Forceful Duelist while my opponent passes his turn after inking. I had several options for 2-drops at this moment, namely Simba and Lofi, and since my opponent didn't play a 1-drop, I decided to take advantage of his curving problem and play Lofi to get a head start in lore while I still can. It looks like I made the right choice when my opponent fails to find a 2-drop, instead playing Ursula's Cauldron, so I continue to ramp up pressure. I don't find a 3-drop, but I do have Prince Sully. I continue to quest for free, getting up to 4 lore without opposition so far. My opponent inks a Horus to finally play a 3-drop Maleficent. He remembers to check the deck with Cauldron first, which was fine. This game is for fun, guys, so you know, just something you gotta let slide. I was also in a good mood because I love to see it. A 2-2 stat line will not be able to punch over the Simba I've been holding, which I can finally play now to guard the rest of my field. And I can continue to quest unabated, reaching 8 lore now on this turn. Again, apologies for the shaky camera work as I try to show you guys the whole board without much success. My opponent gets the combo and sings Friends before playing a 4-drop Maleficent and finally threatening my board. I'm feeling pretty good in my position though. I challenged Sorceress off the field with Hook since Challenger grants him +2. And I opt to ink Smash to play Pongo. If I remember correctly, that was the only card I could ink, and I really wanted to get Pongo out to threaten to end the game even quicker. I continue questing with all my characters to get to 12 lore, giving me a very comfortable lead against my opponent's 0. I try to take wide shots every time I have the chance. In retrospect, it didn't look that great, so sorry again. Also sorry for all the apologies. Sorry for that one too. My opponent inks a Merlin to play out Flotsam. Now this kind of makes me raise an eyebrow. If you remember, my deck also runs the Jetsam Flotsam combo, so I'm pretty suspicious that he does too at this point. At the moment though, it just acts as a much needed rush unit. He uses Mal to take out my Simba and Flotsam to take out Lofi in an attempt to curb my ridiculous lore gain. I'm not desperate enough to force lore and trade on optimally, so I run Prince Sully into the already hurt Mal to trade him off the board. I'm still worried about Jetsam, which would allow my opponent to clear Pongo, but I can't really be playing hesitantly just off of that possibility. For 4, I play my own Jetsam, then I quest with Pongo. He very quickly shows me he has it and does the trade, leaving Flotsam with 1 willpower remaining. My opponent has finally wrestled control of the board out of my hands, but I do have a crazy lead in lore still, so if I can either get it back or quest characters one at a time till victory, this is still very much my game. For 5, I play Simba, Rightful Heir. Pretty sure this is a top deck and a good one with 2 lore. My opponent finally gets on the board questing for 3 and dropping a Bodyguard Maximus. A very nice card that would have bought him some time if I didn't have Mother Knows Best. I bounce it away so that I can trade out Jetsims. Now that Jetsim is gone, Flotsam loses evasive and Simba can take it out, gaining me a lore with his ability in the process. My opponent plays Peter Pan, Fearless Fighter, to rush and take out Simba. One thing I didn't think about this draft is that rush units are basically removal for exerted units. Something nice to keep in mind for the future. In retrospect though, I don't think it would have changed my draft at all. My opponent plays Be Your Guest to find goons. Don't think that's exactly what he was looking for. I top deck a Kristoff, and in response he top decks Rockstar Stitch. I think he won that top deck war for now. My next top deck is another Kristoff. If you remember during the draft in the last video, I mentioned I should have picked up Beast instead of one of these. Looking at it now, that would have been way better since it would have destroyed the cauldron and provided more pressure. This is a good thing to do in draft. Keep in mind picks you made, and if other picks would have been better, that's how you improve. Anyway, with me threatening lethal, my opponent either needs some form of removal or is over. He plays Prince Eric to trigger Rockstar Stitch's ability and shows me Let It Go just in nick of time. I need something, anything, and end up top decking Prince Eric. That's something. Again, I just need no removal to secure the win. He tries to search, but to no avail. He scoops, and I get the first win. GG, and on to the next.
Will happen now! Fight!
The second match we play really illustrates how important information is. What I mean is, we just played a whole game and saw a good deal of each other's cards. When you're playing Lorcana yourself, definitely store as much of this information as possible in your noggin. You don't know when it'll come in handy. You'll see pretty soon what I'm talking about. The match starts pretty tame. He inks Jumba and passes, and I ink my precious BLT and play Hey Hey. My opponent follows with Princess Minnie. I very obviously can't go down the same route as last game since he actually has a character to stop my 1-2 LeFou. So I decide to ink him and play out Hook, which can trade with her if he's a challenger. Mini quests and my opponent plays Horse. Here's where the blunder happens that loses me the entire match, all because I wasn't keeping track of information well enough. I saw in the last round that my opponent, like me, is running Jetson Flotsam combo. I foolishly just feel the need to get back control of the board here, and I play out my smash. If I was thinking ahead, I would have realized my hand did not have evasive counters at the moment, and I should hold on to smash for when Jetsam appears. This lack of foresight will end up being pretty costly. On 4, Jetsam unfortunately comes down, and I'm feeling the pressure. I play Aladdin and Simba and decide to bodyguard and quest. In retrospect, not the best play since again, I'm not keeping track of information well enough. If Flotsam comes down with Rush, my board gets practically wiped and it will be hard to recover. Maybe I was just hoping Flotsam was a one-of and I was just praying he didn't have it. Either way, we paid the price here and it's a pretty heavy one. I try to recover with Mad Hatter, but he shows me he has let it go again, and this is looking like a steep mountain to climb really quickly. I play my own Flotsam, but it isn't evasive without Jetsam, so he sits idle for now. Something to note is at this point I'm holding Shift Aladdin in my hand. I had both Aladdins from my starting hand and have been waiting to take advantage of the shift for a surprise attack. If I had smashed Jetsam earlier, this would have been a perfect setup. Unfortunately, here my opponent plays Starkey. With 5 strength he would at best just trade with Aladdin, and Aladdin can't touch the evasives. I'm very quickly losing hold of the game. I drop Bodyguard Mickey on 6 and quest a Flotsam to try to hold on to hope by not letting him get too far ahead in lore. My opponent quickly runs Starkey and Rush Peter Pan to take Mickey out. I decide to just play out Aladdin since I need Prince Ali to trade with Starkey. At this point, I still haven't drawn any more evasive outs and I'm on a clock. He continues questing and drops a Bodyguard Maximus, unexerted unfortunately, or my Aladdin could have challenged him. But I have no choice but to just quest with Aladdin since I don't want Maximus to take the easy trade against Flotsam. But my opponent is threatening lethal the next turn, so I scoop. Time to just take my lessons on the chin and look forward to game 3.
The battle continues! Fight!
So game 2 was terribly played. Looking back, there were definitely ways to have won, but oh well. No use looking back, so let's look forward. First turn starts up basically the same. My 1-drop this time is Timon. I follow quickly with Prince Eric at 2. My opponent drops Facilier at 2 and I respond with Kristoff at 3. I decide questing if Eric is safe since Facilier did not have the strength to take him down even with Challenger. My opponent plays Evasive Peter Pan and passes, so on 4 I play Jetsam. My curve this game was amazing and I intend to push my advantage in lieu of any real threats. My opponent plays Merlin and quests with Peter. I fire the cannons at Peter and drop Challenger Jafar. Now my Jetsam can quest in peace, and Kristoff continues questing as well. My opponent plays Flotsam and supports Facilier to take Kristoff out. He mentions to me in person that this was a mistake. He was used to Flotsam being evasive and thought he could rush Jetsam. Maybe the game before had some use after all. I drop Eric and start doing some gardening. Jafar challenges with 5 power to take out Merlin, and Facilier without challenger has 0 power, so I can trade with any of my characters for a free banish. Jetsam still quests for free, so why not? Flotsam takes out Jafar, and Horus and Cauldron come down. For 3, I play Jasper and trade Eric or Flotsam. Jetsam continues to be a menace, and it seems in character for Timon to join him this turn. Horus sings friends, and my opponent's Jetsam comes down. I get an easy trade of Eric into Horus and continue questing. Jasper's ability forces the enemy Jetsam to not quest, so I'm making him trade me instead of the other way around. He uses Jetsam to take out Timon, and another Jetsam comes down. I fire the cannons to finish the hurt Jetsam off and quest evolve. Jetsams trade off and my opponent plays Wardrobe. I drop Kronk and oh yeah, it's all coming together. Wardrobe can't quest due to Jasper's effect, so she attacks into him and Stampede finishes him off. Then Let It Go hits Kronk. I have a good lead in lore, but I need to find some way to finish as I'm down to top decking again. My opponent drops Goofy and I'm not sweating yet, but he's definitely put me on the clock. And here I draw an answer. I played a Beast Mirror already in my hand and then dropped Shield of Virtue that I just drew, emptying my hand so that I can use the mirror to draw. Now all I need to do is draw a character and I can showcase the reason Shield of Virtue has a place in this deck. My opponent continues to quest and drops Maximus, but I found my key to victory. Simba takes the field ready to take his throne. My opponent continues to quest and drop characters, but it's all in vain. I quest with Simba, then ready him with shield so he can't be challenged. I use Mother Knows Best on Goofy just in case of shenanigans, but this time there's no answer. We take game 3 in what was a super fun first round of the tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We still have a couple of rounds to go, so stay tuned and see you at the next one. Ciao.